Dallas, Texas. Our next guest, Mr. Mike Wardlow of CenturyNet.com, right? And you're going to talk today about your product, which is Swarm Secure. So tell me what CenturyNet.com does.
Okay, well, CenturyNet itself is a wholesale monitoring station, and what we do is we provide monitoring for different security dealers, regardless of the life cycle that they're in their current business state.
Oh, that's interesting.
So whether it's a brand new dealer just getting into the industry or a veteran of the industry that's looking for a new monitoring station, we're more than willing to work with them and support them in what they need to grow their business.
That's unusual, right?
Yeah, because what you'll see a lot out there is, we'll call it where they're forced into a particular system or a way of doing business.
Right.
So they'll say, great, you can sign up with our central station, but you know what? You have to enter in the data our way. You have to call us this certain way.
They have a contract, maybe, that kind of thing.
Correct, yeah. Get them into a different agreement. Not with CenturyNet, though. We say, hey, what do you want? How do you like to do business? And we work with you on that. And we don't force you into an agreement. If you want to leave us for whatever reason, you can. We don't think you will, but if that ever does happen, we're not going to force you to work with us because we want you to be happy. And that's what it's all about, is growing the industry.
So I almost bought an alarm company once.
You did?
I got into it, looked at it, researched it, looked at the business model. It's a good business model. I mean, if you get it right, you can make some good money at it.
That's correct.
But what I did find was that, there are, 5 giant monitoring companies, and they monitor 90% of everybody in the universe, right? That kind of thing.
That's correct, yeah.
How do you fit into that picture of how that business model is done?
Yeah, so how we fit into that is we offer a lot of different value-added services that different dealers are looking for.
Okay.
So, and these range all the way from different field devices that dealers can use in the field in order to gain access into their customers' accounts and systems themselves, and for example, turn an account off in case it's in a runaway without being charged, and able to address the issue.
Yeah.
And in some cases, even know about a problem before the customer knows about it, to make that them aware before they get some angry call from them. And, what kind of what kind of a great customer service experience is that?
Right.
Other things that we offer are different value-added type services, like a dealer portal, different websites in order to, here again, gain customer access. And then our newest one that we just came out with is Swarm Secure. And it's a self-installed smart home security system that keeps the dealer involved in the sales process.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because it sounds like you're researching the industry and looking at security companies themselves, and it's pretty competitive right now as far as what's out there.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we're addressing those needs of our dealers and offering the solutions that they need.
Now, when you say dealers, I happen to use a company called H&H. H&H was its own company, and then they got sucked up and bought by some giant company, and their service went like that.
Oh.
Sorry, fellas. All right, but I wouldn't be able to call you guys up and say, hey, put me on your network, because really you're dealing with dealers and not retail, but wholesale. Is that a good way to describe it?
Yeah, that's correct. So we deal with that independent security dealer that's in the industry itself. Now, if someone's looking to sell their accounts or sell their business, that's something we can look at too. A little bit different, from what we're talking about today, but that is something that we can also do. But it's not our core business for what.
Okay, now tell me about Swarm Secure and how it's different than anything else out there. What's going on?
So Swarm Secure is different because we know there's a big part of the industry right now that's changing, right? It's been hovering at this 20 to 25% home security penetration rate. And everyone's trying to figure out what's going to make it grow higher, what's going to make it go 30 to 35%.
What is holding it back, do you think, that makes it freeze there?
I think it's just people shopping differently.
Okay.
And we see that a lot out in the
I use
marketplace
Arlo.
today.
I love Arlo.
Okay.
To me, and I have my own system that cost me $4,000 that I have monitoring, but I put Arlos all over the place, and I feel better with the Arlo than with my home system, ironically.
Right.
So I can see that. To me, I feel like I'm partaking in this process, not giving it to a guy to install it, and I don't understand it. So that's why I am in that 25%,
Yeah, and that's that changing dynamic, is that people all across the U.S., regardless of age, we hear a lot about the millennials. This is how they shop and everything, so we want to address that. But people want to install it themselves, and you're seeing it with the Arlo itself.
Right.
The biggest difference with Swarm Secure is that it's professionally monitored. So a lot of the research that we've done and talking to our dealers is that that's something that a lot of customers are looking for.
Yeah.
Is that professionally monitored system that will be addressed if something does indeed happen. We hope it doesn't, but if it does, we'll be there.
Yeah, because Security Guide TV is not a professional monitor. So when my Arlo goes off, I'm telling you, 500 times a day. Right?
Yeah.
Because you can't sensitive. I turn it off and I ignore it, and then I go, wait a minute, what if there's actually something happening? Right, so there's a value in having somebody that knows what they're doing, using analytics and things to monitor that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And the nice thing about the Swarm Secure too is it keeps that independent security dealer involved. So if there is a problem with a contact, a motion view, or any of those type of situations, that dealer can be local and come out and assist as needed. And plus, we offer different programming software that allows them to get the hub and the network security system itself.
Now, does the security dealer kind of maintain a middleman position between you and the client?
They do in this case. So, but that's okay. Our goal at CenturyNet, DB, Swarm Secure is not to go after the end user.
Right.
We want to keep them involved. So we see a lot of the systems out there. You brought up Arlo. They avoid the independent security dealer in some cases.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So where this keeps them involved. So just offering here again that value-added solution that CenturyNet does.
So now, are you finding that these dealers are gravitating towards you and moving away from the giant ADTs? No offense, fellas, but you got some pretty bad systems, right? Is that what's happening? Because people want better service and no contracts and all this other stuff that the big box guys offer.
Yeah, I think you see that a lot, especially in the local markets. They want someone that's local, and we see that a lot, particularly where we're at. A lot of people say, "Hey, you guys are a Southeast company too,"
right.
And we see that a lot where people want that hometown feel. Doesn't mean it's not seen across the country. It's just, I believe something that people want, particularly in security.
It's a personal thing.
Yeah,
you got to trust the people you're working with. You got to know them. You can't just have some anonymous person answer the phone twice.
Yeah, and it's protecting your livelihood, your loved ones, your family, everyone that's living there.
Now, where do you function? Where's your physical home?
We have 2 Central Station locations, and they're hot and redundant. One's in Pensacola, Florida, and the other one's in Memphis, Tennessee. So, God forbid, one station goes down or heavy traffic in one particular area, the other Central Station takes over immediately. The dealers, the end users, their customers in this case, don't see any difference at all whatsoever. It's business as usual to them.
And what range do you cover physically? Like those
states? we cover nationwide. So we have
you do
dealers.
Still? Okay, all right.
So we have dealers across the country.
Okay.
From Washington to Florida to New York to San Diego, we have dealers all in those.
How did you do in the hurricanes? How'd you guys fare with your data?
We did okay. We did great.
Stayed up?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
In a lot of cases, CenturyNet does backup monitoring for different stations across Florida. In
it's a backup. How interesting. Okay.
We do. Yeah. So when anything comes like that, they reach out to us and say, hey, we need to transition accounts to keep our customers secure and networks going.
Excellent. What keeps you up at night? What do you worry about the most in security?
Working for CenturyNet, I don't worry a whole lot about.
That's the perfect answer today.
That's
Look
right.
at that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
No, feeling pretty good. I think for me, it's really getting those dealers involved and making them aware of the different options and solutions that we offer, and that they don't have to be tied into some commitment with another central station. That CenturyNet has options. We're here to work with them regardless of what they want to do, and we'll find a way to make it work.
Excellent. Mike from CenturyNet.com and the Swarm Secure System for independent dealers. Check them out. And do you guys have a booth?
Yeah, we're at booth number 2222.
All right.
Easy to remember.
Check out 22. That is easy to remember. Check out 2222 at the As Is show tomorrow. And stay tuned for another show here on SecurityGuideTV.com at ASIS 2017, Dallas, Texas. Back in a minute.